Now, speaking about bringing information to the limelight, there has been conversation that has been going on. Some of it has been on the hush-hush tone, while others, people have been commenting about it. People have been castigated for commenting about it, while media has been told, for now, can you keep it on a hush-hush until we release a statement? And that is the video that have been circulating about Kabaka Mwenda Mutebi's health on the media. You've seen pictures, you've seen videos that have been circulating about his health. A few days ago, we at the first show here held a very small prayer moment for him, for his good health, and in hope that he gets better. And of course, the family released the statement appreciating everyone for their prayers towards the Kabaka's health. Now, before that, a few months earlier on, the Kabaka went to Kenya, Nairobi. And of course, the reports that came from Maiga were that the Kabaka was not sick. The Kabaka was very healthy and he had gone for a tour in Kenya, which a lot of people doubted, and speculations continued on saying the Kabaka is not well and he has been poisoned. Now, that was the statement that a lot of people were releasing about the Kabaka's health. There has been a debate on social media. Bebe Cool released a statement as well, speaking about Kabaka's health and holding officials in the Kabaka's palace responsible for being unable to take care of the Kabaka's health and taking care of him as the Kabaka of Uganda. And Bebe Cool, castigated them for being unable to fly the Kabaka outside the country for better treatment. We have that tweet, of course, one of the tweets that got our attention while we're going through the tweets of the day, and we'll be having it run on the screen, where Bebe Cool was commenting on Kabaka's illness and how he feels that the people surrounding the Kabaka are irresponsible. Now, aside from that, there were other tweets as well that we picked and we'll be looking at, that people were commenting over the Kabaka's health. Other people were saying you have no right to put Kabaka's picture out in the open like that. And other people were saying we're doing this because we need to raise awareness and let people know that our Kabaka is not doing well and Maiga is not doing such a good job in taking care of the Kabaka. Some people castigated Maiga for bringing Kabaka out on his 66th birthday and showing him among people, and they said it's not right for him to have done what he's doing. Now, there's a tweet right there, they're saying, I'm asking all my followers to pray for the Kabaka of Uganda. I'm not asking for a debate or conflict. All I'm asking is for prayer. God save the king. God heal the king. Pray for the Kabaka. Now, that particular tweet had a lot of reactions from people, different reactions. Some people praying for the health of the Kabaka, some people castigating the fact that that tweet was even put out in the first place, while some others are saying we need to raise awareness about the Kabaka's health. Now, Martin Sempa was one of the people, and he said, first of all, I command that petitions, prayers, and intercessions and thanksgivings be offered for everyone, for kings, from everyone, for Kabaka and all those being in authority, so that we may lead a tranquil and quiet life in all godliness and dignity. If we could scroll and continue seeing what exactly the people reacted to in the Kabaka's illness tweet, we'll be looking at that very shortly on what people's reactions were. But then people did not react to this positively. And a lot of people want the Prime Minister's head on a spike because they're blaming him and saying he's responsible for this. Some people are saying, Gertrude said, for the life of Kabaka Wafe, we demand for him better treatment, and for those who are paid to attack, we don't mind at all. What we need is Kabaka's life, period. And the other one is saying, arrogant Charles Peter Maiga is the Luganda words I'm trying to get through, Eyaja okusanyawo obuganda, which is an extreme statement and is uncalled for. He says this is unbelievable. So you're determined to finish Kabaka's life. There were speculations, is what we're trying to show you, about the illness of the Kabaka, and things were almost going crazy because Peter Maiga was also not releasing an official statement about the illness of the Kabaka. And he says that the Kabaka needs to get treatment. All of them are saying exactly that. And Bebe Cool, that is the tweet I was talking about, saying to countries that have better medical attention for Kabaka's case, Buganda esirise nga ne Meya Lukwago buli lwafunamu akasujja sweet Nairobi yiyi katikiro. You can see the statement that he put, and he was implying that a lot of people who get sick, even for a simple malaria, are not being taken. What is happening to Maiga, and why is he not leading the Kabaka's transportation or travel to a country abroad to get treatment? Now, finally, Maiga came out with a statement, and he said that what the Kabaka is suffering from is actually just an allergy that he gets when he puts on a mask or shield like he did on his 66th birthday. And he says that that is all that is happening to the Kabaka, and there's no need to fear. And the speculation over the fact that the Kabaka was poisoned is not true. You can see the press release that was released on the 16th of April 2021, and it talks about the fact that we celebrated Kabaka Mtebi's 66th birthday. They congratulated and prayed for him, and the occasion took place in this and this place, and they're talking about it. And he says that the challenges are related to allergies, which when they attack him cause breathing difficulties, especially when he has a mask or a shield on his face. Now, these are also some of the comments that came out when there was an announcement of the Kabaka's illness. Now, some people came out and they talked about it openly, and they said that Fifi Navido, excuse that Katikiro Maiga should give answers to anxious Baganda regarding the health of their Kabaka. Ibra Leak also noted that I'm so disappointed in you, man. Per the clips I have seen and to what you have always been telling us about the king's health, you're such a monster, Maiga. A lot of people went for Maiga, a lot of people, because at that time he had not really released an official report that talked about the Kabaka's health. But hopefully this particular report that was released by Peter Maiga will help calm down the masses, and they won't attack him as much as they did. Nakasenge Barbara said, so annoying, get well, my Kabaka. While Chazike Victoria said, Naye, what really happened to you? You failed even to take care of our king. Please take him to the hospital. This is serious. Now let's listen to what Maiga said in his defense and in explaining what exactly happened on the celebration of Kabaka's 66th birthday, and in him saying that it was just an allergy. And about
now,
it's the occasion at Mengo Palace on that day, and those who followed the events on television and social media may have noticed that the Kabaka's disposition was different from that his subjects and general public are used to.
Mu lukuŋŋaana lwa bannamawulire lutatutte budde buwanvu, Katikkiro ategeezezza nga bwe kiri ekituufu empologoma erimu okusumbuyizibwamu ekirwadde kya allergy oba oliawo kino nga kimulobera n'okwambala akakookolo.
We all face health challenges from time to time, and they need to be effectively managed. And in the Kabaka's case, the challenges are related to allergies which, when they attack him, cause breathing difficulties, especially when he has a mask or a shield over his face. The allergies are being effectively managed by the appropriate medical experts.
Katikkiro era asambaze n'ebibungeesebwa mu bantu nti oba oliawo omutanda bandibanga baamulungira kanyu kawulire oba emmimbiri.
The rumors doing the rounds that the Kabaka was poisoned are totally false. I would also like to dispel rumors being posted on different social media platforms. They are baseless and should be totally disregarded. Otherwise, they will cause undue anxiety.
Katikkiro akkaatirizza nti buli omu alwala ng'abantu abalala era n'agumya Obuganda nti yadde Omutanda ali mu mbeera bweti naye abasawo be bakola buli kisoboka okulaba ng'embeera ye edda mu nteeko.
I would like to assure the people of Buganda and all Ugandans that the Kabaka's condition is managed with requisite expertise, and we hope and pray that the Kabaka will achieve full recovery soon. I Katonda Kuuma Kabaka waffe.
Bino byonna byajjawo oluvannyuma lwa Ssaabasajja okulabikako eri Obuganda ku mazaalibwa ge ag'emyaka 66.
By the Katikiro Peter Mayiga over the health of Kabaka, the health that has been speculated upon for a very long time. And I applaud Peter Mayiga for finally coming out to talk about the Kabaka's health, because this was becoming a conversation that the Buganda Kingdom was failing to put a lid on. A lot of people speculated that it was poisoning. A lot of people said a number of things about the Kabaka's health. Now, this is the only time that the palace and Mayiga have officially come out to talk about the Kabaka's health. When he went to Kenya, they all denied that the Kabaka was sick, and he said he was very healthy and had just gone for a tour or a tourism visit in Kenya, and he had gone to rest. But I appreciate that they finally came out with it. Now, the other thing that helped dispel the rumors that were running around is that the Kabaka was seen on Thursday at a supermarket in Ntinda. While he was there, he waved to a number of people, he spoke to a number of people, and he looked quite healthy walking in the suburbs of Ntinda and shopping like he would on a daily when he wasn't sick. So when people saw that, there was a bit of reassurance about the Kabaka's health. And of course, the statement that Peter Mayiga released also gave an assurance over the Kabaka's health. And again, on STV, all we'll do is pray for the Kabaka, and we hope that he gets better very soon and continues with his role in Buganda in being the king and of course the head of the Buganda or the Baganda. Now, we last week also had a reading of who exactly the Kabaka is, and we explained to you in details how he became a Kabaka, when he became a Kabaka, who is his father, who his wife is, how many kids he has, and who will be his heir. If you missed that, of course, you'll have to backtrack on the episodes that we had of the first show last week. And you can, of course, have free history lessons for yourself. But we pray for his good health, and I'm excited about the fact that the Kabaka is doing well. Now, the other story that is also making rounds of headlines is, as NRM is still in Chankwanze for their 3 weeks retreat, where they'll be discussing ideologies of the NRM and how to better the NRM, the NUP also had their own retreat. Now, they went to Jinja, where their retreat was held, and Joel Senyonyi explained a number of things that happened during the retreat that took place in Jinja. Now, their president or their presidential candidate or their leader, whatever you'd like to call him, Bobby Wine, who is also was present at that particular time in Jinja, and he was there for the 3 days that they were there, sitting and speaking about the different issues. One of them was reviewing the constitution of NUP and saying that something needs to be done to bring it up to date, because remember, NUP was taken from the NURP in 2018 and it turned into NUP, where the People Power took over it and it became their political party. So they now say that it needs to be updated and something needs to be done in order to bring it up to date with what political parties now look like and not what the NURP in 2018 held. I think you remember the different court sessions that were held between the leaders of NURP and NUP over the illegality of attainment of NUP and the change in name and the change in leadership. Now that story put aside, let's come back to the fact that they had a retreat in Jinja, and among the things that were discussed, of course, is the release of the number of people who are still in prison as we speak. And they also discussed the speakership position, and they didn't come out with a name of who will stand in as speaker. However, they formed a committee where the people who want to stand in on the speakership position on the NUP ticket would be giving in their application, and they will look at it and they will be seeing who is the best candidate. Abubakar Kawalia was suggested as speaker but not confirmed as speaker, and Council Medad Segona will head the committee that will amend the party constitution, just like I had told you earlier. Now, the NUP is one of those parties that is going through a number of things as we speak right now. Now, Robert Chagulanyi, alias Bobby Wine, was out of the country recently, and he had gone abroad, and NUP says for big business issues. However, one of the stories that I will be talking about later is when Robert Chagulanyi came back, we had sanctions that were slapped on 12 government officials whose names we don't have right now over gross violations of human rights. And we are thinking, is that what Robert Chagulanyi had gone to do in the US? Had he gone to take the report of the gross human rights violations in Uganda? Now, that story, we're going to have it later, and we'll be having your view on that story coming. Now, coming back to NUP and the meeting they held over a number of issues, including the fact that they still believe that Robert Chagulanyi won in the last concluded elections, and they will continue seeking for his instatement as the president of Uganda, and they believe that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is seated as the president of Uganda on a wrong set, and that he should be put down, with Robert Chagulanyi becoming the legitimate president of Uganda. Now, those were some of the issues that were discussed in the retreat that NUP had when they went to Jinja on Saturday. Now, Joel Sonyonyi was the person that spoke to media in explaining the number of things that happened when they were out there, and he said that the gross human rights violations that were committed among their members by security agencies will continue under investigations, and they will keep demanding for their release of their members. Now, in the US, there was a protest where supporters of NUP and the US held a protest demanding for the release of the over 49 people who are still in prison, in the military prison as we're speaking in Machindie. And after the 2-day retreat in Jinja, they said that they will still ask for the release of their people regardless of what government says. Now, we're waiting to see what plan B for NUP is and what they're planning to do after this communication has been passed, and what it is that Joel Sonyonyi, who is the spokesperson, and Robert Chagulanyi will decide in the space of the speakership position. They had in the beginning rallied behind the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, and now we're seeing that they're looking at picking their own speaker, and we'll be updating you on who it is they pick for their speaker. Now, we'll go for a short break, and then we'll look at global exploration. When we come back, we'll be looking at Oyo Nyimba, who celebrated his birthday last week. Who is he? Where did he grow up? Where did he study? Who his mother is, and when he became king. All those details will be coming in on our personality of the day, who will be Oyo Nyimba. Happy belated birthday to you. Now, let's go for a break, and then we'll be back with more.